This is a radically different way to approach that. And at the end of the paper, which was with a student, we said something like, what we've learned from this is that when we use appreciative inquiry in the same old way as any other change process, we get the same old kind of results.
Mm.
But to get these transformational results requires a couple of very different things, one of which was this emergent approach. Another was something we call the generative image, which has also become sort of central to my thinking about what helps to produce transformational change. We can talk about that a bit more if you want to when we get into leadership, because it's really a leadership function is to provide that.
So the first thing is the reason that I think this is really powerful is if I was to look back over the last maybe 5 years of work where I was brought into an organization because something wasn't landing, like they couldn't get it to just kind of belong, it was never the stuff, it was always the how. And whenever we were successful and people thought I was fabulous, I kind of laughed because I was like, it's not me, it's just the how. And I would tell them there's a methodology, there's a logic to this that isn't that I'm some fabulous person, but it was so far-fetched from what people were used to doing to create change that they couldn't understand that it's actually in and of itself its own method. But wherever that was applied, where there was previous kind of stickiness or stuckness, or even like legislative issues or big things happening, there was a smoothness that didn't happen with the planned change. And that to me, I think is quite fascinating that organizations could pump so much into planned change. And yet it's not the what that's being rejected, it's often how people are doing it. And so what I like about that is and your point about appreciative inquiry, I think is really important. You could do the same intervention with an overarching method or approach that actually limits the intervention. So knowing what to do isn't always that helpful unless you can see around what works and how it actually applies.